Hey guys, it's Skill Jim from the SUKA team. I think you're probably used to these videos by now. Video overview. We're going to go through all of the latest features and updates to SUKA and also for new users I'm going to go through all of the old features as well, just to give you a complete video overview as the title suggests. So firstly, if you want to get SUKA for your own device, so Android users, you can simply go onto the Google Play Store, type in SUKA, and it's going to be the only application that pops up, or the one at the top that's called SUKA. It's the one with the hand-drawn storyboard drawings of myself, very poor, crappy drawings. So that is the one. That is SUKA, and that should be the latest version now. And iOS users, so your iPad users, iPhone users, you want to head over. Actually, first, I'd probably suggest go to the App Store and search for Test Flight. Download that. It's Apple's own application. And then with Test Flight installed, head over to sukapass.com, click the download link at the top of the page, and click the button that says available on Apple Test Flight. And once you click that, it'll know to use the Test Flight application that you downloaded, and it should pop up with a thing that says SUKA accept, basically, and you click accept, and then you can install the application just like you would from the App Store, basically, but through Test Flight. It's just added little inconvenience, but trust me, it works. We're using an iPad here, and this is the latest version of SUKA. So let's get straight into it, guys. Hopefully the volume's not overly too loud. So to start testing, that's just a thing from Test Flight. Data install, so we're going to update. Shouldn't take too long. Fairly decent Wi-Fi in this room, and here the little ring there. That's a bit of a throwback to connecting to the Shenmue Passport via, the internet back in the day, Dreamcast modem. So this is literally just downloading. I think it's just done a fresh install of SUKA, so you just have to go through this. It's just the application's very tiny, and this just downloads the required files to get the application running. And we do plan to use this kind of screen for allowing you to pick and choose, some future updates, maybe a pack of songs or something like that. So there we go, the Dragon Mirror is slowly filling up. How's your day been? Is everyone okay? You're all well? Happy 4th of the month again, by the way. Happy Shenmue Day. We always like to try and do different things over at shenmuedojo.com, myself, Switch at phantomriverstone.com, and obviously, when we can, put out a new update for SUKA. It's the best day to do it, really. So, pretty sure you're all used to SUKA by now. You're used to these introductory title screens. Just leave these playing, otherwise it wouldn't be much of a complete overview. Press the start button, Aka tab. So this is something new. We've got pop-ups now just to introduce some of the new features that we've added. So this first pop-up is for the screenshots feature, which we're going to get into in a moment, and you can actually see already there's a little camera at the bottom. I'll show you what that does soon. And the second latest new feature is Nozomi's messages. So you might recall we did have a Nozomi's messages section, but that was mainly just for application updates and patch notes, etc. I'm going to get into this update, this new feature in a moment. And finally, while we're thinking about it, the Test Flight functionality there. Once you've installed SUKA, there should be an option that just allows it to automatically update future updates without you having to worry about Test Flight ever again. As long as you've got Test Flight installed on your device, and you tick this, whatever it says, to put auto updates on. As soon as we release a brand new update for SUKA, Test Flight should pick up on that and auto update it for you. So here we go. Here's the latest version of the Nozomi circle menu that we like to call. So you can see we've had a little bit of a mix-up, basically. This is more in the order of the original Passport. Some things were, as we were building the application, were in different places, but now this is pretty much bang on to how the original Passport was, although obviously we haven't completed everything yet. There's still a few more things to add. So in those places we've still got things like the theatre and the information there that didn't used to be on this circle menu. but obviously it's just a lot easier to access these like this. So firstly, you might notice the music has now come off the music, the circle wheel, and it's a red stereo at the bottom right here. So we'll just hop into the music section. Tutorial, because a fresh install. So like usual, you can increase the images for each of the tracks. So as you go through the songs in the playlists here, obviously the image changes, accompanying the song that you're about to play. So let's go with the main theme. Press the play button. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. These controls, you've got some additional buttons down here, all, random, repeat and song. And so random, we'll just go through this particular playlist that you're on in a random order after a song's finished. Repeat is going to repeat the whole playlist, so once it gets to the bottom, it's going to go back to the top and repeat. And song is just going to repeat the one song that you happen to be on if you want, for some reason, to keep listening to the same song. And obviously all, we'll just do them in order and stop, basically. Obviously, you can favourite songs, that hasn't changed. Pick the songs that you want and then go into your favourites, and you can build your own playlist if you want to, and that, you know, those extra little features there then come into play a little bit more if you want like a random assortment of songs that you want to play. So you should all be familiar with a lot of these playlists. We've had these for a while now, but added into the cutscene music, we've got a few new songs, borrowing Naoki's Bike here. So one of my favourite tracks, actually. And because the update is Nozomi's Messages, basically that is the major update we're going for. We've added in a bunch of Nozomi songs. And you notice the little new tags, as soon as you press play on that, that disappears. And obviously once you've played through the new songs, the new indicator on the actual playlist here will disappear also. So there you can see there's a few more Nozomi songs in there, so you can have a play around in there. And like you used to be able to do before, lock the screen if you want, and then obviously it stops unwanted song switching until you unlock like that. So let's get straight into the latest features, so Nozomi's Messages. So basically what this was, back in the day when you were playing through Shenmue, perhaps it was your first time playing Shenmue, you got stuck in a certain section, you logged onto the passport disc, and Nozomi would actually give you hints and clues, in this case, to help you reach Ryo's next goal, along with additional information as well, which we'll get into. So let's start with the additional information first, actually. So obviously get through these tutorial screens, you can read these in your own time, just to familiarise yourself with these new screens that we've added. So we've got a nice long list here. This might look familiar if you go through, like, say, the data review. It's the same sort of system. You can expand one of the headings here. So this is the Hazuki Residence, and she's got additional information on, say, the cherry tree. She's got additional information on the dojo, and it's really cool, actually, to see some of this information that used to be available on the online version of the passport that's just been, you know, as soon as the servers went offline, this information went with it, unless someone you know, kept it somewhere, archived it somewhere, which is obviously what we've done. We've used, I think it was a Japanese guide, and everything was actually in this Japanese guide, which is really cool. So Switch has translated this back into English, and we've essentially restored the original Nozomi Messages information and clues. So yeah, have a little look through this. You can minimise just little topics. So say as you go through this, you might want to just minimise a WoW. Maybe you've read a WoW, but you haven't read some of the others. You know, you can mess around with this however you want to. There's a lot of information in Dubuita, for example, about shops and people, Wang-san. You know, and then towards the bottom here, we've got some plot spoilers. So say if this was your first time playing Shenmue, or you've recommended a new player to Shenmue, and you've recommended this application to them, you know, use this alongside your first playthrough, which would be awesome to hear that. If you know someone that's just getting into Shenmue, introduce them to this application, and they've got a wealth of knowledge and extra information at the fingertips, basically. And some of these plot spoilers, just extra little bits of, you know, really interesting information. Clue, on the other hand, this really does, down to a T, whatever goal you are in the game. So say if you're looking for sailors, you know you're on the part of the game where you're looking for sailors. So you head over to that particular goal. So obviously you've done all this, you've visited Yamagasi-san, you've searched for black car from talking to people, you were recommended to go talk to Tom, search for people from China, visited the Three Blades, the barbers, you spoke to Lu-san, who's sitting in that park, and he said, you know, go look for sailors, basically people with direct ties to the Chinese mafia. So say you're on goal 10 in the game, is what I'm trying to say, but you're stuck, you don't know where you're going to find sailors. So what we've got functionality-wise on here, so that is goal 10, searching for sailors. You can even tap the image in the middle just to confirm. So Lu-san suggests that Rio search for sailors who have ties to the Chinese mafia. So you know you're at that point in the game because you've just experienced it. So this is the goal that you're on. You need extra help from Nozomi, click the clue or tap the clue, and she'll pop up and give you an extra little bit of help in hand here. So you're looking for a place where sailors might gather, huh? Have you tried talking to people in town? You know, it's quite obvious. I see a lot of sailors on the streets at night, so there's your first clue, nighttime. They all seem to go to bars to have a drink. So try asking more people around town, and I'm sure they'll know someone. So basically, she's hinting there, come out at night, try the bar districts, you know, the red light district, and that might be where you find some sailors. So yeah, so tap to close that. I think hopefully this is quite self-explanatory. As you go through the goals, you might come across ones that have got 2 clues, maybe a little bit trickier. Find the tattoo shop. Obviously, it's not on a map. It's not really signposted. You know, you speak around. Perhaps you know the vicinity of it, but you haven't been able to find it. Nozomi will just give you some extra clues. You can tap there just to speed up the text if you want to just read the whole thing. It's kind of like a visual novel style. And yeah, I think this is a really cool feature. It's got all the goals, and you can go through and read up on the particular goal that you might be on in the game, or your friend might be on who's stuck. There's extra little clues there. And even if you're a veteran Shenmue player, come back here, just read through all of these, because it's you know, it's cherished information that's you know, it's really cool, is what I'm trying to say. You know, it's information that has been lost, and we've kind of restored it here to read again for the first time in years. Extra little things. This is kind of an Easter egg.
You need to talk to me, okay?
Tap Nozomi if you want. Help. That brings up the tutorial screen. I'll get to the screenshot thing. You might notice this little camera. I'm not knocking my camera. But we'll go straight into urgent messages next. We've got 2 things on urgent messages. I love this little piece of music as well. Wonder if have you heard this piece of music before? Yeah, that might be a little bit of a nostalgia kick for some of you people who might have visited the screen back in the day on the passport. So topics is going to come soon, and we'll give more information on what that is going to be in the future. But updates is where we're hosting the Nozomi messages of the past. So you remember previously we had the latest message. It was like a little Nozomi thing bottom right of the screen, and she had a letter if she had a new message for you. Basically every time we updated the application, she had a new message, and this is where these messages are now. So go read through this. This is even more detailed information on all of the brand new features, updates and patches. And now because of this, we've actually archived all of the old updates and old messages as well. So that's pretty cool if you want to reminisce a bit about SUKA Pass. So yeah, okay, let's get out of there. So I'm going to talk about the screenshot feature now. As you can see, you can press and hold, move it to any part of the screen. So if you happen to have a little bit of information on the screen and the camera icon is in the way, you can just move it to the side so it's not in the way. But basically what this gives you is a one-tap ability to share the current screen you're on to friends, social media, etc. On iPad is the function of Twitter. Here, the nice little Polaroid camera there. It's supposed to be Maya's camera we're going for. So you can see it's took a screenshot of that exact moment that you hit the button. So Nozomi's got hands down, you know, it is that screen at the time of pressing. And on iPad, like I say, we've got the Twitter button. On Android devices and iPhones, there's an extra little button for sharing to, like I say, WhatsApp, friends, you know, messages, other social media applications like Instagram, etc. It just happens to be the iPad. We just got Twitter only function on iPad. So you tap the Twitter button there. Hopefully you've got Twitter installed on your device, and you see it actually automatically fills in the text for the tweet, so you don't even have to worry about tweeting. We've got there's the image there that's ready to go. iPad's not very good at displaying in this horizontal thing, but you get the picture. That's the text. You can actually edit the text, you know, add, change, do whatever. But like I say, the cool feature of this sort of thing is, say if you're going in the Shenmue world area, which I'm going to go in properly through in a moment, but say you want to go into a profile of a character. I know a lot of people like to perhaps post a tweet when it's someone's birthday, for example. So say if it's Ine-san's birthday, you could tap on Ine-san. You've got just move that down there. Obviously you've got her profile there. You might want to zoom the model in a little bit. You've got her information. It's August the 9th. That happens to be August the 9th, you like. I'm going to make a birthday post for Ine-san. Tap the camera icon. Go over to Twitter. Here is the character profile of Ini Hayata in Shenmue. If you'd like to read this profile and others, grab the SUKA app. So it tailor makes each of the tweets for whatever you have on the screen at the time. It's really, really cool. And there's the screenshot there. Obviously it'll come out. I'm tempted to tweet something, but I won't at the moment. But yeah, I think that's really cool. So no matter what character you're on at the time, you know, you go to share. Here's the character profile of Ryo Hazuki, so it knows exactly what you're looking at the time, and that works for other things as well. So say places section. Say you want to go to Tomato Convenience Store. Take a photo of that. Well, take a screenshot. Here is the official law about the Tomato Convenience Store location in Shenmue. So I just think that's pretty incredible, that is. If you want to just randomly just bang out a Shenmue tweet, you can do it in 2 seconds. You know, let's go in the all move scroll. Let's go over to, let's pick a kick move, side reaper kick, yeah. You've got the that's quite a lengthy one actually, so that's probably one that you might not want to take a photo of, just because all of the information for the profile is not going to fit on the screenshot. But maybe that will persuade someone to want to download the app and read the rest of the profile for this move. So like I say, press the camera icon. Detailed description of the side reaper kick move in Shenmue. I think that's genius, if I'm being honest. So yeah, have a play around with that. Screenshots, send them to friends, post them on Twitter. It's also going to hashtag SUKAPass and at us in, I think. So we'll see them. We'll be able to retweet them as well. So yeah, if you're a big SUKAPass fan and the Shenmue, let me just move that camera up there. Big Shenmue, original Shenmue, maybe the passport. If you're a big fan of the passport, just chuck out a load of tweets, and we'll retweet them all if we see that kind of style come up, because I think that's really cool. I think that's going to share a lot of this extra Shenmue lore and background. So while we're in here, let's do the old school, go through some of the older features. So like I was saying there, that let's just turn the volume down as well. So here's the profile section. I'm pretty sure everyone should be familiar with this, but if you're not, this has got all 330, I'm forgetting now, is it 9 or 37? I think it's 300, oh, it says there actually, 337 characters. And yeah, you've got filters on the side here if you want to just look at males or female characters, children, elderly, or the etceteras are like animals. So even Brown Dog has a backstory. So this dog mooches off the residents in Dobuita. It wears no collar. Cha seems to be a stray, but he still has a sleek coat of fur. Maybe someone is feeding and taking care of Cha regularly, or perhaps a lazy owner who wanted to save time taking the dog for a walk might have released him from his chain. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It is ridiculous. But yeah, so you've got all 337 NPCs, characters of the game. If you're actually playing Shenmue and you want to do something extra, a little bit fun, as you encounter some of these characters, you can tick them off. So maybe you just bumped into Guizhang and Master Chen, tick them off, and you've got a little list at the bottom here for characters that you haven't met in the game yet. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of like, I don't know, an achievement thing. If you want to do like a bit of a self-achievement, mark them off as you meet them in the game. See if you can find all 337, mark them off, and get a completely empty list here. You can also search for a particular character. So let's say you want to look for Nozomi. Bang. Nozomi's going to come up. She's going to come up with other people that are related to Nozomi or have Nozomi in their description, because that's where the search results is actually going from. So you can actually find some cool little interesting things, like why has Mayumi Mishimi come up, for example. She has known Ryo longer than Nozomi, partly because of their houses are so close. What else she says about Nozomi? Rather passive by nature, she feels nervous when in the company of both Ryo and Nozomi, as she knows how Nozomi feels for Ryo. She tries to keep some distance from Ryo, as she would rather stay friends than confess her love to him. You know what I mean? That's stuff that you would not be able to pick up just from the game. There might be the odd conversation that you might have with some of these characters that kind of insinuates that kind of relationship, but it's only really this section, this background lore, which is incredible, really, to learn that sort of stuff. Same again with places. You can tap on any of these things. Oh, that's a new feature, actually. So remember when I was showing you previously, we went into Debuite, went on Tomato Mart. It saves your last viewed screen, and that was the same for profiles. So when I go back to profiles, it's going to pop up. Okay, that didn't work. I was thinking it might pop up the search result, but what it would do is if I was on children, and let's go down here a little bit. Kenta, for example, Kenta. If you go back, it's got children Kenta. So that is the functionality there. Places, like I say, it remembers that we're on Debuite. All of these question marks are new locations. So as you tap on one, so this is the Water Dragon Volume 2 store. You can check out the screenshot. This is really cool. If you hold your finger on the Dreamcast logo, we get an original Dreamcast passport screenshot there that they used back in the day. So that was the screenshot for this particular part of the map. We've kind of enhanced it with Shenmue 1 and 2 remasters. You can also directly get to character profiles for people that are related to, for this store, these are the workers. There's background information on the shop, time it opens. You know, it's really cool. So as you'll see at the bottom here, we've got 2 out of 45. So with this being a fresh build, I haven't been through all the different locations here, so you might see all these question marks, but there's also additional points just in general for tapping that part of the screen. This is the apartment district down here. Over this side is the red light district. So, you know, look out for these extra little things if you like. I've got all the question marks. Where are the final ones I'm missing? Just general areas. So we've got 4 out of 45. So yeah, play through that. Really cool. All move scroll. All of Ryo's moves, again, it's saved at the last screen that you're on. Shallow dive we're on. You can, so you've got the combination there, how effective it is against single opponents or multiple opponents. Obviously the lore. If you tap this button, this is showing that it's a move that can be advanced. So if you know in the game, as you perhaps go to a car park, practice a move over and over, it increases its efficiency, or, you know, yeah, kind of like experience. These like bars, aren't there? And like you can see them, it's that kind of style where as you train, it slowly fills up these bars. So this, at a certain stage, I think it's like the intermediate level of the move scroll. Once you hit that certain level after repeatedly training this particular move, the animation changes, and obviously the effectiveness is increased as well. So it's a little bit more effective now against single opponents and double opponents. So you can see how effective some of these moves are. And let's pick another one that you can level up. So here's another Thunder Kick. Level it up. You see the animations, bang, you know, it's like forward and down. So yeah, really cool. Play around with that. Filters again for whatever move you're trying to find and learn about. So that's the Shenmue World section. Here's another little pop-up. I've already supported. Right, so that new indicator is going to stay there until I play all the new songs. So if you want to get completely new indicatorless screen. That's what you've got to do for that. So let's move around. So we've looked at urgent messages because that was a new feature. We've looked at Nozomi's messages. Let's go to the data review section. So this gives you two options here. So SUKA Live, which is the current installation of SUKA that you're using right now. This is going to give you some extra little information that's being tracked in the background, just statistics of how many times you've started the app, how long you've been in the app for. So we've been in this for, Jesus, 22 minutes already. Okay, so screenshots, we've shared 5. There's just some really interesting, some really deep stats that are being tracked here, urgent messages, information. We haven't been on some of these screens yet. So you can have a little browse through this stuff, see, you know, if you've been using the application for a couple of years now, if you're one of our original users, check out your data review, man, because you might have some pretty cool looking stats. And if that might be a good use of the screenshot feature, if you're watching this and you've got quite a long time spent in the app, like maybe days or even hours, we would love to see how long you've been using SUKA for. Tap the screenshot and upload that to Twitter. Show us that you've been, you know, using SUKA longer than 22 minutes. And, you know, it could blow us away depending on what you do. So let's go back and data review, actually. So the other one is a sample of original data review data. So if you add a completed save file, for example, of Shenmue back in the day, and you went into the data review section of the passport disk, it would give you some extra, you know, really insane, actually detailed information from your save file, taken into account what had been tracking in the background of your playthrough. So as you can see, this total gameplay was 20 hours long to completion, and the fact that we've got 41 here is just because it's accumulative data. So this is like if you complete the game twice, for example. So all in all, this is like one playthrough, this is like 2 playthroughs. Your stats keep accumulating. Currently it's, what's that, the 2nd of January 1987. I might have to double check on the date order of that, but I think that's how, I think we've got Japanese style, and 1:30 in game. Present area is Yokosuka, and there's your present goal. Time spent on current quest, amount of money. There's just loads of stats, some crazy stats actually. How long you've been playing mini games for, you know, even stupid stuff like how many times you bumped into a wall. That is all there. That is just sample data, like I say, if you want to just see what sort of stats were tracked while you were playing Shenmue back in the day. It's really interesting. Online manual. So again, like I say, if you're introducing Shenmue to a friend for the first time, perhaps, you know, in this day and era, they don't have a manual. You know, maybe you haven't introduced them to the Dreamcast version. Maybe you've handed them a disc Shenmue 1 and 2 collection. There's no manual. So, you know, get SUKA and here's an online manual. So how to start a game. It shows you the screen there, title screen. Although I think that is a little bit different these days, isn't it, on the Shenmue 1 and 2. But like I say, this is original passport data for the original online manual. So there's additional information there for magic weather. Once you complete the game for the first time, you can have original weather in the game. Help section, just you know, everyone knows how to play Shenmue these days, but I just like this. I think this is extra unnecessary information I just love reading about. So, you know, events, mini games. Let's have a look at some of the mini games. So we've got pool, and you see we've added music. Oh, that was something I should have mentioned with the places actually. So we've added music that suits the screens as well, maybe some sound effects. So there's a pool reference there. What else? We've got some other good stuff. So this, like, QT title, plays the QT title music. What a wuss. So yeah, have a play around with this. This is really cool as well. Some of the little extra sound clips we've added there. Let me just go back and show you the places. So that's kind of what I was thinking just then. So we've got atmospheric music. So this might be a regular piece of music from the game. You hit up this sort of area of the street. Or perhaps not that. Let's go for the produce. Can you hear that ambience, that background, where you know you can kind of imagine where you are in the game. You can hear the faint sound of tomato convenience store nearby. You can hear bikes whizzing past, just people walking around. we've tried to add ambience to each area of the map. So if you head down the other end of the map here, let's go to the butchers. Is that there? Yep, butcher shop. Because we're close to the U arcade, you'll be able to hear. You might not be able to hear it on the video, but faint in the background you can hear. You know, doors opening. Faint sound of arcade machines playing. Maybe that hang on, boop, 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 that sort of noise. Really cool. Yeah, just heard it there actually. Sakuraoka, you know, pick an area, maybe the park. You can hear the birds. It's just subtle. You might not have noticed. It's so subtle actually. We've got one for the kitchen. You might not be able to hear it, the music playing, but when you're in the kitchen, there's actually the hum from the fridge we've added. So that's kind of like a hidden little ambient sound that no one might have known was there. So let's move down to the theatre. So this is where, let me just turn the volume back down again, sorry. So this is where we've got some additional trailers and cutscenes from Shenmue as you're playing through. Prologue, let's watch the prologue. Starts at the start of Shenmue. You can watch all of these cutscenes that were originally available on the Passport disc. This is one of the few offline features actually of the Passport disc. You didn't need to connect to the internet for, and you could watch all of these hidden cutscenes. Well, not particularly hidden. Well, most of them you actually unlocked as you played through the game. There was a couple of hidden ones though, and we got some cool additional trailers that were on the disc as well. This is a promotional trailer about Magic Weather. Let's turn the volume up slightly. Love this trailer actually. Look at these cherry blossoms. In Shenmue.
In Shenmue.
Right. Over this side we've got information, which is a similar thing with videos. This is where you get your passport models. You remember, I don't know if you've heard of, if you're a new player, you might have heard of the passport models. This is what we refer to. So say like the Ryo Hazuki passport model. It's like a even better graphically. I mean, look at the state there. And Ryo will talk through what's he doing here, the battle system. Just additional information from the characters themselves, explaining, you know, about the magic weather. Mark's talking about money here. It's pretty cool. Hi, I'm Mark. And you've also got a little button at the bottom here, which just, again, that was part of the passport disc. You press, I think you press start when you add one of these characters highlighted, and you just got a little information blurb. So that's added. That is just linked to that button there. You know, we've tried to meticulously restore all of these finer details from the passport disc as best as we can. About page, this is just about us in general, team members involved, contributors, if you want to contribute to the project and expenses. We've got a feedback button there where you can actually send us, say you might have found a bug or you just want to give us a compliment or something. You can give us a bit of feedback there and we'll get an email and be able to read that and act on it if needs be. Settings, you can turn sound effects down, background volume, music rather, speech of like the characters, tapping characters. You probably wouldn't want to do that, but it's an option. And also depending on what sort of metric imperial measurement you want to go for, which one you're more used to. If you're interested in character heights, for example, like Ryo Hazuki could be 100. I don't even know centimeters actually. I'd normally say like 6'1" or something. You know what I mean, or 5'10", whereas he could be in the imperial metrics or whatever. He could be, Jesus, centimeters. I'm trying to think. You know, like maybe, I can't even think. 300. No, that's way too small. I don't know. Have a play. You'll know better than me on that. Maybe meters actually, not centimeters. Probably. Probably like 3 meters tall, maybe. Is that really tall? I don't know. Anyways, in the community, final thing I think actually was just some extra links to some of our other projects and locations. So there's the SUKA Pass homepage, Phantom Riverstone, you know, one of the best Shenmue websites going, really, with all blog posts. That's my YouTube channel, which you're watching this from now, hopefully. Shenmue Forever, that links directly to his Twitter account. You know, he's puts out some incredible tweets on a daily basis. Shenmue Dojo, which I'm co-owner of course, the original and best Shenmue resource on the interwebs. And we've also got just the websites for Shenmue 1 and 2 and 3. Right, guys, I think we've gone through everything that's available in SUKA Pass. Well, this latest version of SUKA Pass. I hope you've enjoyed this overview. I may have missed something because we've got quite a lot of content on there now, but that just means just go download this application and experience it all for yourself and let us know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the new features of Nozomi's messages. The screenshot feature, which, where's the camera gone? I lost the camera. There it is. We'll pop that down there. The new songs, the urgent messages section there, which we're going to expand in the future. Like I say, the screenshot feature, extra data review things. You know, there's a good bulk of extra content for veteran SUKA Pass users and fans of Shenmue or the Passport in general. You want to see more things restored, you've got them. We're still working on a few of the other features. Yeah, believe it or not, there's still stuff we haven't done yet, which we are going to get around to. So from myself, Skill Jim, or James Brown, however you refer to me as, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for downloading, and until the next update, we'll see you then. All the best.